In this video, we're checking out the brand new Furitek Python X for 1/10 scale rock crawlers. We're going to be pairing that with the Perentie brushless inrunner motor. We're going to open both of these up, we're going to check out the specs and the key features, and then we're going to install them on our beloved blue Gladiator. Now, Furitek has had parts out for the 1/10 scales for a little while, including some Lizard ESCs, but this new Python X takes the technology to whole new levels. It offers the same super smooth control and tunability with the Furicar app that we're used to with the mini crawlers. Comes in a nice waterproof and dustproof aluminum case, capable of up to 4S, and has a big BEC to run some high-powered servos. Now, I'm super excited for this because I've been chasing that glacial slow crawl that we've got in our mini crawlers for the 10 scale for a while now, and I'm really hoping that this new combo from Furitek gets us there. So let's jump in and check out the parts. Let's take a look at our parts here. This is really exciting. Furitek stuff for the 110. This is going to be awesome. So here's our combo here. We've got the Furitek Perentie. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. This is the inrunner brushless motor in the 1950 kV size. To run that, we have the brand new Python X ESC. Check this out. I'll start with the ESC first here. Very reminiscent of the smaller scale Python. You can see already it's got that red anodized aluminum casing. Very nice design here. It does have the Bluetooth built in, so we'll be able to use the Bluetooth functionality that we're used to with the smaller scales from Furitek. It's got an 8 amp BEC. All right, let's open up the motor. I'm very excited for this. Look at this. So this is smaller than I was expecting. Very nice looking motor. Love the appearance on this with kind of the matte black with the anodized red on here. Very cool futuristic design on the front. The motor is, going back to the motor and the size of the motor specifically. So look at the size of this compared to, here's the 35 turn brushed motor that comes stock in the SCX10 Gladiator. So it's smaller in length than the 35 turn, about the same diameter, I would say. Feels lighter, feels much lighter actually. That could be anecdotal. I'd have to put them on the scale, but it does feel certainly equal to or lesser in weight. So this is our combo here, very exciting. Let's take a look at the Gladiator. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing to the chassis to fit this in there, and then we'll get it installed and run it. So here's the Gladiator here. Let me take the body off. So the Gladiator is currently running the Hobbywing Z-Run 2800 kV setup. Now I know a lot of folks are going to say, why would you get rid of the Hobbywing setup? And don't worry, I'm not getting rid of it entirely. I have other plans for the Hobbywing setup. We're just making some shifts here. But what I also want to do, I want to take advantage of this opportunity, is to clean up my chassis a little bit. I've been running these smaller pack 3S batteries, and I'd like to reinstate the small pack battery tray right here that comes with it from the factory. Now that was removed when we did the brushless conversion, and I've got my winch controller and my receiver over here, but I'd like to kind of consolidate things on the passenger side of the chassis and put my battery here so I can further bias the weight to the front and not run a big pack in the back. You know, I'll keep that for when I want to do trail runs and things, but when I really want to throw down, I want to have all that weight up front if I can. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start disassembling this. I'm going to take the Hobbywing stuff out. I'll probably remove all of the electronics over here, and then we'll start with a clean slate with the Furitek setup. So here's the Hobbywing motor. You can see the size difference between the two. Look how much smaller the Furitek motor is. Thing to note, the Hobbywing is a censored motor. The Furitek is not. They are both fully waterproof. So I'm really curious to see how they stack up in terms of performance. I like the Hobbywing a lot, but I'm anxious to try out the Furitek. So we're getting there. I pulled the motor out. Now I'm just going to pull the electronics off. It's awesome how easy these 10 scales are to work on. Now I got the Hobbywing setup all out. Pulled out just like an octopus here. No problem. Very easy. So I'll put that aside for another truck. I got my battery tray in over here, ready to go. What I'm going to do now is just clean up my chassis. So I'm going to use a combination of these Cow RC hide wipes and this Moo Clean degreaser. Now I've really been enjoying the Cow RC products. I've also got an exclusive discount code with these guys. If you want to check them out, I'll put the link in the description down below, but I've been using these pretty much exclusively for my cleaning and my maintenance. Really, really like them. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to clean up my chassis. Figure over here when I get ready to stick things down is when I'm going to use the degreaser to make sure I got a nice clean surface for my things to adhere to. Next I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my electronics here. If I want to keep using this box from Axial, if I've got room. I don't know if I've got room. Put the Python, oh I don't know. Don't think I'm going to have room. I might have to ditch the box. And so I think that's what I'm going to do, is take this case off and then clean up this tray area here and get ready to place my electronics. Okay, just got the Furitek motor installed. I love the motor mount setup that Axial uses. It makes it very simple to get your mesh, which coincides with the pinion gear size that you have. I like to put the pinion gear on loose to make sure that I've got a good mesh, and then once I've got it situated where I want, I just tighten it up while it's on the spur gear. So it feels pretty good right now. So I'm going to put the cover on to make sure that's secure, and then we'll start figuring out our electronics. All right, we ready for this? Maiden voyage here. So I have gone into the Furicar app. I tweaked my settings a little bit, just made sure everything was good, firmware was up to date. Up the voltage to my servo, so it's running the full 8.4 volts on this raw 500 from Reefs. Crazy fast steering on it. Now let's check out the slow crawl. Look at that. That's what we were after right there. And this is on 3S too. So good. Nice. Lots of wheel speed. All right, I'm pumped. I'm really happy with the layout, how everything came out. It's a super clean setup. I got my battery over here, all my electronics right on that side, exactly how I wanted it. So let's button this thing up. Let's go hit the rocks with it and see how this thing does. Golden hour crawl out here with these two sweethearts. I'm going to bring the deadbolt along, have some fun, and try out the new Furitek system in the Gladiator. Just me today. Axel's in Maine visiting family with his mom. I missed my little buddy, my little wingman. All right, here we go. From a speed perspective, it feels very similar to the Hobbywing setup. It's got good amount of juice. Oh no, I lost the deadbolt. I'll carry it. So it's got a good amount of juice. Not a speed demon by any means, but you know, this does have the 11-tooth pinion on it still. It's pretty low geared. Haven't done any other reductions or anything. Oh, this is the control I was after. I'm so happy with this setup. Just let these tires do their thing. That ultra slow torque curve, we're just going to ride it up this nasty hills. I am in love all over again, as if the Gladiator couldn't get much better in my eyes. Look at that. Just like lug by lug. It just crawls up and over that. This is a gnarly uphill off camber section. Let's see if we can pull it off. stuffing the pro lines there. Looks so awesome. Oh, what a great first run. Alright guys, so after my initial run with the setup back home, I ended up taking the Gladiator to Maine with me on vacation. Got to take this out on the rocks in Acadia National Park. This is the Furitek Point part of the park. It just has some incredible coastal scenery and also some great ledges and rocks to crawl around on. Just a great opportunity to really showcase what this thing can do. Now I haven't messed with any of the settings here. It's still running the linear curve right from the factory settings. I just changed the punch and the slow crawl just a tiny bit, but really didn't have to do much. This thing just performed so good. Basically plug and play. I was just loving it out here on these rocks. Some of these steep approaches really got to test the FOC and also the power of the motor when you get to bump up and over these things. Really impressed with the combination of slow speed and wheel speed when you need it. We're getting into some really good lines now. I had a lot of fun at this section. You know, being able to get up on 3 wheels there doing the Jeep wave, but have the control to slow it down and bring it back down to earth. Now this line that I'm going into now was kind of the capstone of the run, I think. It was such a gnarly line. You're coming up to this face, crossing this gap here, and going up and over this sharp edge. I couldn't believe this thing was able to approach this line, and then, as you'll see, work our way through it. Just so impressive. Combination of servo work and then the wheel speed of the Perentie motor got this thing up and over. So good. Final thoughts on the Python X and this Furitek combo. I am in love with this setup. This is exactly what I was looking for my SCX10 Gladiator. It has ultra slow crawl capability and such smooth and easy controllable power all throughout the whole power band. It comes on so slow and it's got such a gradual and linear power curve and so much torque. And with the 3S packs that I've been running, it still has great wheel speed. When you need to get into the throttle and you need to bump up and over and be aggressive, it's got all the power that I certainly need. So I'm super pumped with this combo. The Furicar app gives us great on-the-fly tuning. It uses the same platform as the mini crawlers do, the same Furicar app. So if you're familiar with that setup, it'll be a very, very easy learning curve for you. The Perentie motor is great. I think the only drawback for me is just the noise that it makes. It's just a little noisy on the bottom, but that's certainly something that I got used to right away. So overall, I'm super pumped with this. This is exactly what I was looking for the SCX10 Gladiator. Now, Furitek has this available for $89.99 for the Python X. You can also get the combo that I got here with the Perentie brushless motor for $155. I'll put the links in the description down below if you want to check them out. And let me know in the comments down below what do you think of this combo and the new Python X. As always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.